Or you want it right here?
It's wherever y'all want. I ain't just.
It's at a shop right now. This case it starts to get a little,
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to jump right on into it. All right, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakathum. Yahweh Shamar Latham Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is the ISUPK weekly Sabbath service. I'm Priest Officer Parak. This is Priest Officer Matazah. Right, of course, per the Most High, per the Bible, per Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, this is a high holy day that we are made to observe, that the Most High commanded us to observe. Of course, in the ISUPK, everything we do is biblical. So that's why you see us up here, right? This is something that, of course, our forefathers have done. The Sabbath service has always been a part of our custom. I'm saying we get up, we pray, we drink wine, you get what I'm saying, and read the Tanakh, right? Or the so-called Old Testament, right? So we'll kind of jump right on into it. We're going to be talking about the book of Nahum. We're going to be reading the book of Nahum. It is the we're just going to read over the first chapter. We might be able to get into the second chapter as well. We're going to talk about, the book of Nahum has a lot of different aspects to it. And we're going to try to get as much of it as possible. Of course, if you're watching online, you can see that the title of this class is that the Lord will not acquit the wicked, right? The wicked is not talking about Israel, although we get punished as well, right? You can see that today because of what we're going through in America. But the wicked is the other nations. And the Lord is letting us know through the prophet Nahum that, listen, he's going to punish these nations for what they've done to us. He's not going to acquit them. Right, to acquit somebody is kind of like if a judge acquits a murder suspect, or acquits a case, basically making it to where you don't have to pay for that crime that you did. Right? They don't do much in America, but of course, that's what it means, right? So without further ado, we're gonna get down. We're gonna commence the Sabbath service. So just men up here, I imagine which means to stand. All right, we can get a horn to blow. Call up the first brother. Go ahead, state your registry.
Kabadamat Banya Hauda Banya Sharala.
Kabadamat Banya Hauda Banya Sharala.
Shalom Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shabbarakathum.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shabbarakathum.
Step up. Right. You can get him on another blow.
La Yasharala.
Which means to Israel. Talk. You get a horn one more blow. All right, we're gonna begin with the prayers. So Amadiyum, which means to stand. Banyahawadam, which means to face the east. We're gonna begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Get the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Matthew 6:8 through 13. Abanawa, Shabashamayim,
Kadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Gaba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim,
Nathanawa,
Lakam, Call, Yawam,
Wasalakanawa,
Kabawathanawa,
Wasalachanawa, Kawawaskinawa.
Kawaskinawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabaya. Tabaya. Tabayanawa.
Tabayanawa.
Banasaya 1.
Banasaya 1.
A ball.
Hawashaynawa.
Hawashaynawa.
Mayan.
Right.
Kaya. Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wata Para.
I will love you. Amen.
I'll read the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Laka, right? Yahweh. Ba'Shem Yahushai. Baba Kusha. Nathanawa. Haka. Larapa'a.
Kamaka'ala.
Wakal. Madawa. Haka. Latahar. Hamatazaria. Haka. Lahakwayam. Hamatyam. Haka. Rakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarsha. Ba'Shem Yahushai. The water Aman.
We're going to read the Hakak, the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121. Asha'a. Ayanya. Al. Ahariya. Ma'ayan. Yaba'a. Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'arataza. Al. Yathan. Lamawat. Ragalka. Al. Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'ad. Yanawam. Wala'ad. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yashra'Allah. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al-Yad. Yamyaka. Wayamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makal. Rai. Yashamar. Af. Napashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'athka. Waba. Wa'aka. Ma'aitha. Wa'ai. I will lum.
We're going to read the Psalms, the 121st chapter in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that
keepeth thee will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
he
that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The
Lord is thy keeper.
Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
The
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
From
this time forth. And even forevermore.
Psalms 83rd. Alahayim. Al. Damaya. Laka. Al. Takarai. Wa'al. Tashakwat. Al. Kaya. Hana. Awa. Yabyaka. Yahama. Yawan. Ra'ash. Al. Amaka. Ya'ira. Yamwa. Sawada. Waya. Wayatha. Ya'itazawa. Al. Tazapa. Wanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wana. Kakidam. Magalia. Wala'a. Yazakar. Shamyashar Allah. Awada. Kaya. Nawa. Laba. Yakhadwa. Al Yaka. Baryath. Yakarathwa. Ahalia. Adawam. Wa. Yashamai. Alayam. Mawa'aba. Wahagaria. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalak. Ain. Yashabya. Tazawar. Gum. Ashawar. Nalawa. Amam. Hayawa. Sarwai. Labanya. Hawa. Salah. Asha. Kamadya. Kasa. Kasaya. Sara'a. Kayabya. Banakal. Kwayash. One. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan. The Ara. Hayawa. Daman. La'a. Dama. Shaya. Damwa. Nada. Yabmwa. Yamawa. Ka'arab. Waka. Za'aba. Waka. Zabach. Waka. Tazal. Mana'ai. Kal. Nasa. Yakamwa. Ash. Ashar. Amarwa. Naya. Rasha. Lanawa. Na'awath. Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Kagagala. Lakwas. Lapanya. Rakawa. Rawach. Ka'ash. Taba'ira. Ya'ira. Wa. Kalahaba. Talahat. Harayam. Kun. Taradakma. Basa'iraka. Wabasa. Wapathka. Tabahalam. Mala'a. Panyaham. Kualawan. Waya. Bakashwa. Shamka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Waya. Bahawa. Ayad. Waya. Kaparwa. Waya. Abadwa. Waya. Da'aiwa. Kaya. Atha. Shamka. Yahawa. Abadka. Al-Yawan. Al. Kal. Ha'aratha.
We're going to read Psalms, the 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
Tabernacle of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal. And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with
They have hope in the children of
They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
Do unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to
At
Jabin.
the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished that endured.
Which perished that endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zeir.
And like Zeir.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Zabah.
And like Zalmunna.
And like Zalmunna.
Who said,
Let
us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou.
That men may know that thou.
Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Are the most high over all the earth.
Are the most high over all the earth.
Let's see. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapyam.
Ha Alawapyam.
Hasaranyam.
Hasaranyam.
Hakwatazayanyam.
Hakwatazayanyam.
Hakayayalyam.
Hakayayalyam.
Wahakwatyam.
Wahakwatyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
The Waraman.
The Waraman.
Look at the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding General Yohanan.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you. So be it.
Thank you. So be it.
Right. Sorry. While you're Shabium, you can be seated. All right. So we'll be in the book of Nahum. All right. I'm reading out of the book of Nahum. There's some jewels in that book, man. There's some jewels in there. You know, we bring out a lot of scriptures from a lot of different books. Some of these smaller books, you know, we don't bring out as much because the Bible is huge. You get what I'm saying? 66 books in the Old New Testament, plus the books you got in the Apocrypha. I think it's around 80 books. You get what I'm saying? We got a lot to choose from. So when we out there blazing, you might not hear us, you know, pulling Micah. You might not hear us pulling Nahum. You get what I'm saying? Some of our bedrock scriptures, you know, are in the book of Jeremiah, the book of Isaiah, some of the more well-known prophets, right? But of course, with these Sabbath services, we want to be able to, you know, bring out, this isn't camp. You get what I'm saying? This isn't camp here. So it's in between like Zephaniah and Micah. Yeah, it's like right around there. This isn't camp. So, you know, our whole job at camp is to teach, but we have to blaze to get our point across because we're not Christians, right? Christians go out on, you know, what they would call, you know, a street speaking or whatever, and, you know, they're giving a soft message. Well, our people, we don't want a soft message, right? We're tired of being weak. So when we go out of camp, we blaze, right? And we still teach, but in here you get a deeper understanding. We go out to camp to get people to come in here so they can come and they can sit in these classes and get a deeper understanding. So with the Sabbath service, you get a deeper understanding of these scriptures that you may not fully understand. So right. We'll be in the book of Nahum, first chapter, verses 1 through 7. You got it, Doc, whenever you got it.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 1. Mashah. Slakia. Yeah. Slakia 1, if I could.
That's a nah.
Naya.
Now you know what?
Naya no wa.
Yeah.
The water one. Sapar. Kazaran. Naharam. Verse 2. Oh. Konara. Ranakam. Rahara. Or Yahweh. Salakia. Nakwam. Yahweh. Rabiah. Hama. So, Hama. All right. It's like Hama. Nakwam. Yahweh. Latazar. Latazarian. Slagia.
Yeah, I know them. It's a little different than on the phone now.
come out of one come. Slagia out of one. This character right here at the end of here.
It's a what?
Okay,
So that'd be Latazarya what?
Latazarya wa. The water I don't want Slagia.
That's all good.
Latazarya wa. Wanawa Sar. Salagia. Wanawatar. Hawa. La'aya. La'aya bayan. Salagia. Gosh. La'aya bayar. La'aya bayar. Yahweh. Arak. Apayam. Ragad. Ra. Ragadal. Kach. Ranakwa. La'a. Yanakwa. Yahweh. Basa. Rapa. Rabash. Ira. Rabash Ira. Wow. Wabashira. The Rakwa. Slovakia. Wa'ainam. Slovakia. Wa'ainan. Abak. Ragadal. Yawa. Salakia. Regal Yawa. Gawayar. Salakia. Gawire. Bayam. Wayab Shab. Rayashabawa. Waya Bash Yabashwa. The water one. What call Hana Rawath. Has Hachar Yab Amalal Bashan Wakar Mal Wapar Wapara Labanwan Amalal. Verse 5. Harayam Ra'aishawa.
You said you're in verse 5?
Come out of one come.
Okay, you got it. Ra'aishawa. Mamanwa. Wathagab. That's a ha.
Salakia.
I know it's hard to tell.
Waha.
In there.
Salakia.
No, it's all good.
All right. Wahagab Iwath. Hatham Gagwa. Wathasha Ha'arataza Mapanyawa Wathabal Wakal Yashab Bath 6 Lapanya Za'imwa Za'imwa Za'imo. All right. Maya Ya'im was Ya'im Ya'i Mawad Ya'im Wada Wamaya Yakwawam Batharwan Apawa Hamathwa Nathaka Ka'ash Wahatazarium Nathatazawa Mamanwa. Verse 7. Tawab Yahweh Lama'ai Waza Bayawam, Tazariah, Tazarah, Wayadai, Hasayah, Bawa.
All right, most high in Christ, man. Listen, absolutely. I'll tell you, it's hard as hell to read that. Listen, it's hard to read this Hebrew in this book, man. Especially these Amalekites, man, that stole our language. The way they got this thing written, they got dots all over it, and it's just ridiculous. They got their diacritical marks that are absolutely useless if you're reading the real Hebrew, right? But so it's hard to read. So you know what I'm saying, for this brother to be able to read that is excellent. We're going to now we're going to read the same thing that we just read, but we're going to read it with an English translation. All right. We just read it in the Holy Tongue. Right? We just read it in the Holy Tongue, the tongue that it was written in. The same way that you heard this brother speak it is the same way that it was written down, the same way that the brother that was writing it was speaking. You get what I'm saying? But now we're going to, of course, not everybody understands Hebrew, right? So we're going to read it in English. We'll break it down. All right.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum, the Elkoshite.
So now, Nahum was a prophet of the Lord, right? And he's writing about the burden of Nineveh. Can you tell me what Nineveh is, or can you tell me where Nineveh is?
Oh, Nineveh is a city in Israel.
Okay, not exactly. And we're talking about at this time, right? Nineveh was like the capital of Assyria. But it's still in that, you know what I'm saying? It's still, you're not wrong. It's just at this time it wasn't considered in Israel at all. You get what I mean? So Nineveh is the Assyrian capital, right? So everything that we're about to read, we're going to talk about Israel as well, but we're also going to talk about the Assyrians, because this was during and around the time of the Assyrian captivity. Right. And we're going to hear what the Lord thinks about the Assyrian captivity. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. God is jealous.
The Most High is jealous, man. What does it mean? Like, what does it mean to be jealous? To be jealous means that, well, help me out. I want to see what
to be jealous is to. I can only relate it to a woman.
I understand, but no, just go ahead.
Me as a Judite man, I can only pertain it to a woman. The Most High sees Yasharallah as his wife, his children. Mm-hmm. If I'm jealous of my woman, then that means, like, for example, her slavery. I want more attention from my wife than my wife gives that slave master.
That's true. Yeah. So, like, okay, for you to be jealous, right? Let's just it's a decent example. Being jealous over your woman could also look like, she would rather not listen to you. She would rather listen to that slave master. You get what I'm saying? Or when you relate it to children, right? You can also be, jealous over your children. Right. Think about this. Think about your children going to school, and they'd rather listen to that teacher than and come home and be a monster in your house. You get what I'm saying? And that's kind of what we've done. Now, another way that you can be jealous is if your child is going to school and he's being bullied. That can cause jealousy. That can cause that type of jealous anger, right?
If I could add, another way, it can cause jealousy is where, America, our people, listen to what America says, and as in the president, anybody can get married, or homosexuality is okay, but Most High, your Father, right, tells you that's wrong, right? Now they create another law in which now you can get high, right? Which in the Most High it said that thou shalt not put unto thy lips as a burning fire, right? That's ungodly. That is a wicked thing to do.
That's right.
To get high. Now, the Most High did create medicine, right? I ain't trying to take too much, but
that's fine.
Just as a father, right? He would hate that you worship these other gods, man. Worship, and not only that, but be in the foot of these other nations, man. You don't want to be the Most High does, like, just any righteous father would, right? He does not want to see his son or his daughters feeding off of these, off of our, like, you know, eating the crumbs of the enemies, right? Trying to be buddy with the enemies, man. You over here trying to vote and all that, you know, trying to get side right next to, right? Trying to march with them. It's really not gonna help you. Why can't you see that your father is jealous of that? That you don't look for his help, that you don't look for his love, that you don't look to his guidance, man. You don't look for his laws. You say the laws are done away with, but yet your father gave you these laws so you can be what? Wiser than these other nations, man. Above these other nations. It's like, go ahead.
No, you got it. You can go ahead, read.
Slakia. And the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth.
He said that twice. The Lord is going to give revenge to his children. Keep going.
And is furious.
And the Lord, like, you look at the Lord like he's some, you know, lovey-dovey spiritual being. Listen, the Lord gets angry. He gets angry, and he gets angry for a good reason. You get what I'm saying? Remember now, I ain't going to take too much time talking and all of that, right? But this is at the time of the Assyrian captivity. And the Lord he's talking about his anger towards this nation that has us in captivity. Like, if you know anything about the Assyrian captivity, it was hell. And you'll see some resemblances to America as well, right? But keep going.
The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries.
On his what?
Adversaries.
Go ahead.
And he reserveth wrath for his enemies.
So the Lord reserves his wrath for his enemies. You get what I'm saying? So the Lord has a reserve of all that anger that he's built up for these enemies that he has. And these enemies are the other nations, right? And we'll get the precept for it. Keep going.
Verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger.
He's what?
Slow to anger.
Listen, the Lord is slow to anger. It takes a lot, right, to piss the Most High off when it comes to us. But when it's the other nations, they better not lay a finger on us. The first time it happened, like you'll see once again. I brought this out when yesterday, no, a couple of days ago. Like, when you serve the Most High, it doesn't matter, you know, what you ask for. As long as it's a righteous request, he's gonna give it to you. So when Elijah was walking and them kids was calling him a bald head, all he had to do was pray to the Most High. That was the first offense with them kids. It was the first offense with them kids, and they came and did that. And you know what I'm saying? And he called on the Lord. Them she bears came up and ate them kids, man. And it's like, or, you know, maybe not ate them, goddamn. Right? But killed them. You know what I'm saying? But that's the Lord being on your side, right? Keep going.
And great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked.
And will what?
Not at all acquit the wicked.
Not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord is not going to acquit these nations that have come up against us. The wicked is not talking about Israel in this perspective, in this context, because there can be wicked Israel, right? There can be wicked Israel, right? TD Jakes is wicked. The nigga on the block selling dope, he wicked. You get what I'm saying? The crack addict, he wicked. And the child molester, he wicked. But the most these other nations, like, we're this way. When I'm talking about we, I'm talking about, you know, just Israel as a whole. We're the way we are because of the oppression under. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe it's in Ecclesiastes, right? 7:7, oppression maketh the wise man mad. Like, that's why we act like this. That's why we get high. We feel like we have to because of this oppression. So that's why we're wicked. These other nations, they're estranged from the womb, man. I mean, they're born like that. You ever heard about somebody being born gay? That's not a real thing. Nobody's born gay. But the white man is born wicked. You get what I'm saying? The Arabs, they're born hating us. They're estranged from the womb, man. You get what I'm saying? And the Lord said that he's not going to acquit them. He's not going to give them a pass. You might think that, maybe the Lord will have mercy on this one white. We was at camp and we got a donation from a white man. Think the Lord's going to acquit him because he gave us a goddamn crumb? The Lord is not going to acquit. He's still going to be with the rest of them, getting their backs whipped and being slaves to righteous black men, right along with the rest of them. And he's going to get cut off along with the rest of them. That's the truth. We see it right here.
Right.
The Lord will not acquit the wicked. He's going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to bring out precept, right? Mm-hmm. In Ezekiel 25:14, it says, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel."
That's right.
"And they shall do in Edom according to my anger, according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance.
That's right.
Saith the Lord God.
That's right.
Man, that is beautiful, man. As you know, Edom, the so-called white man, look, the Most High is going to pour his anger upon Edom, man, and all these other nations too, right? Not just the so-called white man who brought us slavery, right? Who enslaved us, but every other nation that was that had benefited off of slavery too, as well, right? So-called Jew, the so-called African, right? Hamites, right? All you Moabites, right? The so-called Chinese, Japanese, all of them, right? Samoans, all of them. It don't matter who they are. If you like Christ said, if you have done it to the least of these people, you have done it unto me.
That's right.
Christ, man, look, like any brother, right? If you do it to my children, man, best believe you gonna pay for it.
If I could.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
This is what Christ said. Christ said it'd be better that a millstone was cast around your neck and you were cast into the sea, man. Meaning, you know, the millstone is it's like 100-pound, more than that. So like, I think it's like 1,000-pound rock or something like that, right? And tied around your neck and get cast into the sea, meaning that thing is going to drag you to the bottom of the sea. You're going to drown. It's better that you do that than you offend one of us, than you offending Israel. That's what Christ said. That's coming out of Christ's mouth. I thought Christ was nice. I thought he was a nice guy.
Look, the scriptures are full of, what not to say about, God's chosen people. Right? It says, there shall not a dog move its tongue against the children of Israel, right? Against the children of God, right? Man, there's nothing that these, Donald Trump, he's going to pay for what he said about the so-called Mexicans, right?
That's right.
It's the Issacharites, right? He's going to pay for what he said about the Salvadoreños, right? Zabalawan, right? He's going to pay for all these brothers that, they all talk down on, right? Every nation talks down on us, but when it comes to them, man, nobody says the wrongdoings, right? That's why in Obadiah it says, happy shall it be that reward thee as thou hast served us, or Salakia,
Psalms,
Salakia, right? But in Obadiah also says, for the wickedness of thy fathers, shame shall cover thee, and that's what we're doing today, right? It's like that's what we always do, right? In the ISUPK, we uncover the shame that America has tried to mask, try to cover up, right? They're trying to say, slavery is done away with, right? But let's see how much of a professional they are, that they talk so much about saying, slavery's in the past. Man, it's been prophesied in Revelations 13:10, right? Where it says, they that leadeth into captivity will go into captivity.
That's right.
Right? We'll see how you get out of the condition that you put us in, man.
That's right.
We'll see how you are, right? We'll see how you work around oppression, slavery, right? We'll see how your children grow up with mental disorder, right? With all this, conditions, right? And trying to fight what their fathers, grew up around, right? Because that's what we do. That's what we did, right? We'll see how you take it, right? Salakia.
No, that's real, man. Listen, the Lord said that he was going to make Edom most desolate. You get what I'm saying? So in that time, they're going to understand what it's like to be a nigga. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be a time when they'll understand what it's like to be at the bottom, which they don't right now. No why. Even the like, I love how Officer Apayak broke it down yesterday. If you a white man in America and you sitting amongst niggas at these bus stops and you cracked out, you failed, because this is your empire. This is the white man's empire. This is it, all of it. You get what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This is theirs right now. You know what I'm saying? So point being, though, is that when the time comes and Israel gets to be on top, every white man, whether, like the scriptures say, whether great nor small, they're both going to be at the bottom, and they're going to understand what it's like to be oppressed. Because no white man, I don't care who you are. The reason why I brought out what Officer Apayak said is because no white man is oppressed. I don't care if you out there sitting amongst us. That means that you failed. That means that you didn't take advantage of this kingdom, but nobody oppressed you to get there. Nobody oppressed you to be high off of drugs. You just do that because it's fun. You get what I'm saying? They take Molly and get high and smoke weed because it's fun. we have we have mental illness, like Officer Apayak was talking about. We got traumatic stress disorder, man. You get what I'm saying? We have these things going on with us that makes us that way. So that's why the Lord is he's not going to acquit those nations because of what they've done to us, right? Keep reading.
The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm.
So it says the Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm. What does that mean? That means that there is no storm that comes without the Most High guiding that storm. There is no whirlwind that comes without the Most High guiding that whirlwind. Meaning this, it says he hath his way in the whirlwind and the storm. Meaning if he can have his way conducting the weather, he'll have his way with that too. He'll have his way with Edom. He'll have his way with Ishmael. He'll have his way with all of the Arabs, all of the Chinese, all of the so-called Jews, the so-called Jewish. He'll have his way just like he has the way with the weather. He'll have his way with them too.
Right.
You gonna say something?
Man, understand this. I don't know. It's like it's just beautiful, right? The scriptures are so beautiful. These records are so beautiful in the sense that it's just. I don't know how to explain it. It's just beautiful, right? It's poetic, right? But
right.
Understand this, just like how Egypt, right? The firstborn of every, Egyptian, right? Their children died, man. Understand that could still happen to America. You don't think the Most High can bring a plague where only white people can have? Only our oppressors?
That's right.
Only the heathens can have?
That's right.
Right? Look. And guess what? And if you right with the Most High, if you stand next to the Most High on the right side of him, right, then, man, he will be like an armor against any plague that comes near you, against any, destruction that comes to this earth, right? You'll be surprised or not, right? Or not, because you know the scriptures, because you've heard it from the priests and prophets.
That's right.
In the ISUPK, in the Commandment, because you've heard what we've been telling you since 1969, is to get away from that Christian church, to separate yourself from America spiritually, right? Stop eating up that doctrine that everybody's equal, man. God does not love everybody.
That's right.
He only has his people, right? His chosen people, right? His holy one of Israel, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's a lot.
And that's heavy too. And like this right here, what we reading, like finish that verse off in the 3.
And in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Listen, man, the dust of his feet. Like the clouds are the dust of his feet, meaning, okay, everything what you're reading right here is a metaphor, right? The same way that you'll see in the scriptures that the earth is his footstool, right? I was trying to get that in my head, right? The earth is his footstool, meaning this is nothing to him. That's all this is saying. It's nothing. If the earth is his footstool, right? It's nothing with him to destroy anything inside of that earth. He can listen. He formed the stars. You get what I'm saying? He formed the sun that gives us light and the moon that gives us light at night. You get what I'm saying? So it's nothing with him to destroy our enemies. Now, I want everybody to understand this though about what we're reading. What we're reading is specifically about the Assyrian captivity and the Assyrians and Nineveh, right? We just read at the beginning, this is the burden of Nineveh. But you also have to remember this, that these types of scriptures are always manifold. This isn't talking about America, but it is talking about America. You get what I'm saying? Because remember this, what you've seen the Lord do here, he's going to do again. What he's doing right here, that he's talking about Nineveh, that he's talking about Assyria, he did in Egypt. You get what I'm saying? He did in the Babylonian captivity. He's going to do it again here, right? So that's why we're able to read this and we can apply everything that we're seeing here today. Even though this isn't specifically talking about today, it is. I hope everybody understands that, right? So now give me Nehemiah the 9th chapter, just to precept this, right? Give me Nehemiah the 9th chapter, because what we're reading here is that the Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and he's not going to acquit the wicked, meaning he's not going to give them a pardon. He's not going to give the other nations a pardon. He's not going to give Assyria a pardon. He's not going to give the Edomites a pardon. He didn't give the Babylonians a pardon. He didn't give Egypt a pardon. You get what I'm saying? They don't get a pardon, right? So now we're going to read who the Lord would give a pardon to. and who he has given a pardon to. Give me Nehemiah, the 9th chapter. Give me the 16th verse.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, verse 16. But they and our fathers dealt proudly.
So now we're talking about, just to give you a little bit of backstory, right? Nehemiah is praying to the Most High, and he's talking about when Moses brought us out of the land of Egypt, right? So now we're talking about the brothers that was brought out of the land of Egypt, and it says, they and our fathers dealt proudly. Go ahead.
And hardened their necks, and hearkened not to thy commandments.
Keep going.
Verse 17, and refused to obey.
Listen, we're talking about a stiff-necked people. We're talking about the same people that saw the Most High split the Red Sea, right? Saw the Most High swallow the Egyptians up into that sea and drown them all. You get what I'm saying? Led them and saw the 10 plagues, and they still wouldn't obey the Most High, even after seeing all of the might and all of the power of the Most High, right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about those people. Go ahead.
Look, I was just remembering, man, as we're reading this, man. Look, 3 years ago, Applebee's, Starbucks, and some other restaurants, right, were kicking black men out just for trying to use the restrooms, or just even though we were a service, we were customers, they were kicking us out. Man, the Most High brought a plague where you couldn't even go to the stores anymore.
Right.
That's how crazy it is.
And right.
That's how the Most High works. I mean, it's like I said, look, man, the Most High it's just beautiful in the way He works, man.
Oh, damn
right.
right.
I'll pass it back to you.
No, it's all good, right? But no sweat. But no, so talking about the brothers that was brought out of Egypt, you can go back and read the records in the book of Exodus and Numbers and Deuteronomy. You get what I'm saying? You can, and Leviticus, you can see after they were brought out of Egypt and saw all of those glorious things, they still were so goddamn stiff-necked that they forsook the law. They forsook the Most High. When you forsake something, that means that you turn away from it or you leave it. They left the Most High, but the Most High never left them. And so that's who we're talking about, and refused to obey. Keep going.
Neither were mindful to thy wonders that thou didst among them.
Once again, neither were they mindful to the wonders, all of the great things that they witnessed, all of the 10 plagues, all of the look watching Moses. Listen, man, watching Moses turn his staff into a snake. You get what I'm saying? Right. Like all of those. Like, you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, look, man. Our people were so afraid when the army of Pharaoh was coming, to the point where they were cursing man, what's the man, I'm over here like, man, they were cursing
Moses.
Yeah, okay. I was over here, man. It's a lot. I don't know why, but in my head I had Noah. I was like, wait, what? No, it's not Noah. It's Moses. But yeah, they had Moses. Man, they were cursing Moses, and it's like, man, is this why you brought us to the wilderness to kill us?
To kill us? Yeah.
Man, like, for real, like,
all the while he's saving their lives.
Right.
Saved their lives.
Right. Saved their lives, split the sea, boom. And then not only that, but as soon as they not one of them, right? Everybody made it out. Everybody that escaped made it out the sea. And guess what the sea did? It ripped apart there. You know how heavy, it has like bodies and bodies of water just ripping away the armor, the horses, everything. And they got to witness all that.
Right.
It's a lot.
And that's why it says, neither were they mindful of the wonders that thou didst among them. Like, you would think that somebody sees that and says, well, goddamn, whatever they tell me to do, I'm just going to do it. You get what I'm saying? You see that power and you decide when things get hard, well, I'm not going to serve that God. Nigga, you just saw that God destroy an army of Egyptians. The Egyptians that had you in captivity.
Look,
go ahead.
If I could, look, this is how crazy, like, even in John the Baptist had to send his men to say, is ye the one, or it's like, I'm paraphrasing, right? Or do we seek another? And they said, right. And then Christ didn't even say nothing. Look, he just kept on working, boom, did his thing, right? And he's like, look, go back to, go back to where John the Baptist is, and then tell him about the miracles that you just seen. The sick are healed, the wounded are, like, man, like,
right.
I'm just
like, what more do you need, basically?
Like, really, what more do you need?
Right.
What more proof do you need?
Right.
It's a lot,
no, damn right. Like, and so that's why I say they weren't mindful of wonders, right? Keep going.
Right.
but hardened their necks.
But they hardened their necks. Keep going.
And in their rebellion, appointed a captain to return to their bondage.
And they wanted to go back to Egypt, man. Remember, they said, no, we're not following Moses. He up there on that mountain doing whatever the hell, right? He might be dead up there. But Aaron's down here. So listen, Aaron, we don't want to serve this guy. He got us out here in this wilderness half dead. Take us back to Egypt, man. Make us God, make us gods, or make us a god. And that's when, of course, Aaron, he said, well, all right, well, shit. Whatever y'all want. I'm sure he was tired of dealing with them or whatever. He was weak in that. You get what I'm saying? And he made them that golden calf. He took all of their jewelry, their gold jewelry, their earrings, and made them a golden calf to worship. And then they said, this is our God. Like, how dumb, like, that's how dumb we are. You get what I'm saying? That's how dumb we are. And that's what Nehemiah is talking about. Harden our neck. We're so goddamn stupid, man. So stupid to not understand the works of the Most High. You get what I'm saying? But through all of that, keep going.
But thou art a God ready to show, Salakia, ready to pardon.
Ready to what?
Pardon.
Thou art a God that is ready to pardon. The Lord is gonna pardon. He pardoned them. He didn't destroy all of them. Remember, the Lord was going to take Moses and make a nation out of him. He was so tired of Israel. If we would have been the Mashaites, you get what I'm saying? We would have been the Mosesites, right? And not even because that's Levi. So really, it would have only been Levi's line. So I wouldn't even be a chosen person because I'm Judah. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't be of the chosen bloodline.
Right.
God damn, you know what I'm saying? So you think about that, and then you think about how Moses said, Salakia the one, but if you kill all of these brothers, man, you kill the Israelites and make a nation out of me, everything that you would have done, it would have been in vain. And all the other nations would have thought that you just brought your chosen people out here to kill them. And what did the Most High say? All right. He said, you get what I'm saying? He said, all right, you right. And so he spared us. He pardoned us, man. He's willing to pardon us. But we just read that the Lord is not will not at all acquit the wicked. He's not going to give the wicked a pardon. So we know now that we're talking about two different people. That's why I brought this precept out for everybody to understand that the Lord will pardon Israel and has before, but he will not pardon the wicked. There is no white man that'll get mercy because they've all played a hand in our demise. There is no Arab that will get mercy because if you go back and you look at the sub-Saharan slave trade, they had a part in our demise. We ain't got to go that far. This slave trade that we're in right now, this American captivity that we're in, right? The transatlantic slave trade, they funded it also. And then the so-called Jewish, they built the ships, or not Slack. Who built it? I believe the Arabs built the ships or helped build the ships. The Jews, or so-called Jew, the Jewish, they funded, right? They funded the transatlantic slave trade. They all played a part in it. You can't name a nation that hasn't played a part in our demise. That's why we read Psalms, the 83rd chapter, right? Because we read all of these different nations that have had a hand in our demise at one point or another, right? And we pray for their destruction.
Right.
But guess what? They don't get a pardon. There'll never be a time where the Most High is going to be like, well, I'm going to let this one slide because, he gave them $20. I'm going to let this one slide because he kissed our boot. Listen, they don't get no mercy because of that, man. They don't. That's just them humbling themselves to understand, for them to understand their place. But that don't mean they get no mercy. You get what I'm saying? They're all going to meet their demise. But us as Israel, we get a pardon. You get what I'm saying? We get a pardon. What's the proof? The proof is in the New Testament when Christ died for the sins of Israel. You get what I'm saying? Gave us that grace period to get right, because other than that, first time you get caught slipping, you get put to death. You get what I'm saying? So the Lord gave us a pardon with Christ. Christ gave that adulterous woman a pardon. You get what I'm saying? They was getting ready to stone her, put her to death. But Christ gave her a pardon. And that's who gets a pardon. Israel gets a pardon. These other nations don't, right? Keep reading.
Gracious and merciful, slow to anger.
And we just read that. We just read in the book of Nahum that the Most High is slow to anger, but only slow to anger for the Israelites. He's quick to anger with everything else. Once again, he was quick to anger when Elijah called upon him. You get what I'm saying? He was, listen, you'll see that when you have the Most High on your side, he's quick to anger to destroy your enemies. You get what I'm saying? But keep going.
And of great kindness.
And of great, now as mean as the Most High seems, he's kind to us. He's kind to us, right? Keep going.
And forsookest them not.
So even though we forsook the Most High, we left the Most High, turned away from the Most High in the time of the Exodus, still do it today. The Most High has not forsaken us. He has not left us. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of God we're talking about. So I wanted to bring that I ain't meaning for it to take that long, right? But I wanted to bring that precept out for everybody to understand that the Most High is not going to pardon the other nations. So don't read that and think, you get what I'm saying? Don't read Nahum and think that this is saying, don't read the Bible, period, and think that the Lord is going to, pardon the other nations. Don't read the Bible and think that at all.
Right.
He's slow to anger with us, but not with them, right? Let me shut up. Let's get back to it. Give me back to Nahum. Give me the fourth verse.
It's the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 4. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers.
That's the power that the Lord has. And this is all just explaining. If you go back into the third verse, when it says the Lord will not acquit the wicked, it's saying directly after that, now all of this is talking about the Lord has his way with everything. He can make the weather change like that. You know what I'm saying? He can cause the storms. The clouds are dust of his feet, right? He rebuked the sea, make it dry, right? Keep going.
Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. The mountains quake at him.
Listen, the mountains quake at the Most High. Meaning the mountains are afraid of the Most High. The mountains. You get what I'm saying? Because this whole earth is his footstool. So this is all proving the point that he's not going to acquit the wicked. And he's going to punish. Just like he can do whatever he wants with everything else, same thing with this. Keep going.
And the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence.
Uh-huh.
Yea, the world and all that dwell therein.
Keep going.
Who can stand before his indignation?
This is a rhetorical question. That's a question that doesn't need an answer. It's a question that doesn't need. Who can stand before his indignation? Nobody.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's like saying, it's like it. Man, you put pride, it's like, and me.
Let's just talk. Listen, we might not even get through 7 verses. I'm telling you, that's us.
Look, just like how the Most High said, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Right.
God forbid. Like, it doesn't need an answer. Like, you guys, like, everybody wants to question the power of the Most High.
Right.
Question his mercy and this and that. And his love. God loves everybody.
Right.
But when it comes to, understanding the scriptures and seeing the proof, man, it's just there. It's just like because of Christianity, it's really it made you simple.
Right.
It just really made you low and base. Right. It made you to the point where you just you love simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
You love the things that the world has to offer for you, like presents and holidays and like pedophilia, which is homosexuality, right? And that's what you love, right? Because you in the world and because that's all you see, right? That's all you see. That you only see that, and you don't see the power of the Most High, and then what He can give you, what He can provide for you, right? Like even in the scriptures, right? The script, like our people are so, confused into the sense that we need the white man to eat this and clothe us and that, but don't the animals eat? Like, doesn't He provide for them? Right. Like, the Most High can provide for you too, man. Like, it's just like I can keep going. Go ahead.
No, damn right.
It's like, go ahead.
Right, but we just read, right? Who can stand before his indignation? Who can stand? If the Most High is angry with you and he wants to punish you, who's going to stop him from that? You can't stop him from that. If the Most High wants to kill your wicked ass, he'll kill you, put you to death. You get what I'm saying? It's going to happen. Just like now, what Christ faced wasn't his indignation. but I'm going to use the example, right? Christ, just like any man, he didn't want to die. So he prayed unto the Most High. He prayed unto the Most High, listen, if you can let this cup pass from me, please let it pass. But nevertheless, thy will be done. Meaning this, Christ was saying, listen, if I don't have to die, please don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to die, because he knew how terrible it was about to be. But the Most High, even though he loved Christ as his son, still said, listen, you got to die, man. You got to die, because that's the way it has to happen. So you think you wicked as hell and the Most High wants to punish you, and you can get a pass? You get what I'm saying, man? Come on, don't be dumb. You get what I'm saying? Don't be stupid, right? So that's, of course, why this is a rhetorical question. This is a question that doesn't need an answer, because we already know the answer. Who can stand before his indignation? Keep going.
And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger?
And who can abide in the who can survive his anger? That's what it's saying. Who can survive his anger? Nobody. That's why the question never gets answered. We keep reading, and it's never going to answer, because it answers itself. Nahum's never going to be like, nobody. He's not going to say that. He's not going to say, no, nobody can, because we all know. You get what I'm saying? We know. This is like the scripture is the Most High revealing secrets to the prophets. That's who we are. So we're here to break this down for you. And we got news for you. Nobody can survive that fierce anger. Keep reading.
His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him.
Listen, man, that's the Lord's anger, man. Matter of fact, give me Revelation. All right? Give me Revelation. Give me the fourth chapter. It's like, the 14th chapter, where you got the third. I think it's the third angel.
Right. So, like, if I could relate to today, right? There's name what's like. I don't know if you know any tsunamis or what they called hurricanes, like Hurricane Katrina, right? That's the Most High's work right there, man. Like, these forest fires, like, who can survive that?
Right.
Who can survive that? Who can survive a whole? I remember Texas was flooded. What, this last year? This year?
Last year, yeah.
Right, last year, man. Like, who could man? It is just, and then not come near the ISUPK, man.
Right.
Like, look.
Right, we was out in Houston.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The brothers in Houston was out helping the brothers and sisters that got jammed up because of the hurricane. We was out passing out food. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
So what I need is Revelation, the 14th chapter and the 9th verse. It's the 9th verse. We're gonna talk a little bit about, I gotta throw some destruction to America in here. Right? Because that struck a nerve when it said his fury is poured out like fire and the rocks are thrown down by him. That's what's gonna also happen here. And we're gonna read about it. Give me the 9th verse.
This is book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
So now we're talking about the mark of the beast. We're talking about the mark of the beast that when the Lord sends Christ down to send destruction on this place, if you have that mark, you're going to be stuck in America and you're going to be destroyed right along with America. That mark, the mark of the beast, isn't a microchip. It's not a vaccine. It's not a shot. It's not nothing that you can physically, you know what I'm saying? It's not nothing that you can physically put up here or physically. It is something you can physically do with your hands, though, right? I'll explain. The mark of the beast in your forehead is your thought process. It's Christianity, right? Christianity, religion. If you really just want to put a wide statement to it, it's religion, right? The ideologies of America also is the mark of the beast, right? If you're serving Caesar Borgia, if you're serving Christianity, if you're worshiping the cross, if you're worshiping a stone, like the Kaaba stone for the Muslims, that's having the mark of the beast in your forehead, right? And having it in your hand is you doing the work of that religion, doing the work of America. Listen, man, if you're in the American military, if you're in the white man's military, you have the mark of the beast. So I don't know why in the hell the IUIC would say, no, it's okay, you can go be in the military.
Right. So, like, if I could add to that,
yeah, you got it.
Not only in the military, but in the police force.
Damn right. Listen, Salaki, they bishop. Hey, bishop is a goddamn police officer.
Look, their bishop, Daniel, right? Or what do you call him?
Nasty Nate.
Nasty Nate, right? Nasty Nate, right? they push for you to go into, you know, the IUIC pushes you to be, you know, a state trooper or
Right.
you know, whatever the hell, you know, America has for you, you know, to be the most Uncle Tom, you know, coon sellout that you can be, right? Where you can, you know, murder your people, your
Right.
own people, destroy them,
Mhm.
cold blood, right? And you know, you get away with it,
Right.
right? You put false accusations of, you know, them having either drugs, you know, you seen it, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
seen the video of
Damn
planting,
right.
you know, drugs or having a gun, right? Just so they can shoot them, right? Just so they can say, oh, he had a gun,
Right.
right? Didn't a brother in Arizona, right? He was in his driveway, right? Just sleep, or I think he was smoking or something, right? And he was just in his driveway, and the cops said he got a gun, and he really didn't. He didn't have anything. He was just, you know, he was just chilling in his car in his parking lot. But because the white man's such a devil, man,
That's right.
so like, you know,
That's right.
our old devil, he's gonna kill you, and he's gonna make an excuse for the reason why he had to murder you.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and if I could, that's the mark of the beast. If you're a brother that you know what the police, you know, the police force does to black people, to Hispanic people, if you vote, that's the mark of the beast.
Man,
You going and putting that ballot in, that's that mark in your hand, man.
Right.
You putting that ballot in because, for one, Deuteronomy 17:15 says you can't vote.
Right. They mark you. They say, I voted.
Right.
I voted you.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
You get what I'm saying? That's real. But when you put your mind in the mindset of religion and Christianity in America, that's you having that mark of the beast. Now, right? Now that we know that, just so everybody understands that, if you have that mark of the beast, if you worship the beast in his image, which of course the image of the beast is that Caesar Borgia, right?
Yeah.
The white Jesus, or whatever the hell you want to call him, that white boy, if you worship that, and if you have that mark in your forehead, that mark of the beast in your forehead or in your hand, go ahead, verse 10.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God.
The wrath of
God.
Listen, man, if you have that mark, if you worship that image, you are going to drink of the wine of the wrath of God. Wine is sweet.
Right.
Wine is sweet and beautiful, and I love me some wine. We niggas in here, we love some wine, but this is a different type of wine. This is the wine of the wrath of the Most High God, man. And if you are a Christian, if you're a Muslim, if you serve America, if you serve religion, if you serve yourself, you're going to drink of the wine of the wrath of God. Let's see what that means. Keep going.
Which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
Listen, once again, like Officer Matazar brought out, man, the Bible is so goddamn just poetic. It's so beautiful how these things are written, because it gives you such great imagery of this is how these things are going to go down. This is what's happening in the spirit realm. We'll keep reading, and I'll explain it then, right? But that wine of the wrath of the Most High is going to be poured out without mixture. It's not going to be mixed, and it's going to be poured into the cup of the Most High's indignation. Keep going.
And he shall be tormented with fire.
Be what?
Tormented with fire.
And go ahead.
And brimstone in the presence of the holy angels.
In the presence of who else? Keep going.
And in the presence of the Lamb.
Listen, man, and in the presence of Christ. This is talking about Christ's return. And in the presence of Christ and in the presence of the holy angels, America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear warfare. That's that fire and brimstone. That brimstone, that's talking about. If you look in times past, that brimstone is talking about meteorites, right? But this time it's spiritual. This time it's talking about those nuclear bombs that are going to be dropped on America, right? Because of the disgusting ways of America, this place is going to be destroyed in that fashion, in that manner.
Right.
And if you are, so what?
I was going to say America's going to be consumed.
No, damn right.
Most High's wrath.
And that's the thing. And the point is to destroy America and its philosophies. That's why it's going to be destroyed. To destroy its philosophies, to destroy the white man, to destroy anybody that dwells in this place. Now the saints will be delivered. The saints are the children of Israel, and the saints are the ones that are keeping the law.
Right.
And we're going to be delivered up into them chariots. But if you have this mark in your forehead or in your hand, and you worship that image, You're gonna be stuck here. You're not gonna come up in them chariots. Not with me and my niggas. Not with me and my niggas. You're not gonna be coming with us. You're gonna stay here and you're gonna be destroyed in that hell that's coming to this place. It's like, was you gonna say something?
Nah, I mean, I was gonna read 2 Ezra 6, and I was gonna put 57, right? It says, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing, man, which is what all these other nations are, right?
That's right.
All the nations, right, have begun to be Lord over us and to devour us, right? Now, these people who are just like as the scripture says, unto spittle, right? Like as a drop of a bucket, like these niggas, like these heathens are destroying us, devouring us, right? And they're oppressing us, and you worshiping their image, man.
That's
You're
right.
worshiping their image. That's the image of the beast.
Right.
That's Caesar Borgia. That's a pedophile, man. That's a damn homosexual.
Right.
That's the same. You know, he slept with his own mother, man.
Right.
Like that's what they do. Leave them alone, man. Stop thinking that you need to join them. Stop thinking that you need to get everybody together. Why don't you get your own people together? Our people are the only people who are lost. Christ said it best, right? He said, go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man.
That's right.
And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are lost sheep. We're lost sheep that are looking for a leader, right? And look up to these other nations, right? Like Lamentations 4:21, I believe it says, right? You know, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. We look up, so like 17, right? We look to them and think that they are what? They're gonna help us. Yeah, there's nothing that they can do. The only thing they can do is just oppress you even more, which is what they love to do. They love to do it, and what are they gonna call it? I love this. As soon as I was like, ah, damn, this is that they on some on another level, right? They say, you know, they conquered you and divided you and destroyed you, right? And they say it's manifest destiny.
Right.
That it was the will of the Most High to break you, man. It's a lot, man. Go ahead.
No, and that's real, man. And because of all of that, they're gonna be destroyed. And that's why. Now you saw how I just pulled this precept about something that still hasn't happened, that's going to happen in the future.
Right.
If you go back to Nahum, this prophecy in Nahum talking about that the Most High's fury being poured out like fire, this is talking about something that already happened. So remember this: the scriptures say that the Lord changes not. The Lord doesn't. He's never going to change. He's always going to continue being the same Father. He's always going to protect us. He's always going to be on our side and nobody else's. So like I said, although Nahum is not talking about America, it's talking about America. Because the same way that he poured his fury out on Assyria and poured his fury out on Nineveh, he's going to do it just like that to America. Just like he did it to the Babylonian captivity, or to the Babylonian Empire, to the Egyptian Empire. He's going to do it to the American Empire as well, right? And that's something that you can have faith in. You could, like, if you read, like the brother brought out earlier, if you read Revelations, the 13th chapter and the 10th verse, it talks about the fact that you lead somebody into captivity, you go into captivity. It's talking about the white man. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, right? Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. We can have faith that the Most High is going to save us, not just because of a future prophecy that we see. You know what I'm saying? It's not just because we see a future prophecy, something that hasn't happened. We're basing our faith off of what we've seen before. We've seen the Most High do this before, so hell yeah, he's going to do it again. Especially as wicked as, like the brother just brought out, all the wicked, disgusting things they've done to us. You wouldn't think that your father's going to come and help you like he helped you in times past?
Give me Deuteronomy 7:8.
Damn right. Oh, damn right. Like that's like you gotta have. That's where your faith should stem on the fact that the Most High has done it before. He's gonna do it again because the Book of Malachi says that He changes not.
Right.
You got it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 8. But because the Lord loved you.
Right. Who loved who? Who's you? Israel.
That's right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
And because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
Right. Your father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I made an oath with the Most High, man. And guess what? Now we need to keep that same bargain of the deal, right? Go ahead.
Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand
Right. He brought you out of the mighty hand with a mighty hand, right? Go ahead.
And redeemed you.
And what?
Redeemed you out of the house of bondmen.
Of bondmen, right? Go ahead.
From the hand of Pharaoh.
Look, understand this. In America, we were slaves too, right? Just like, look, it's just like every other nation has oppressed us, right? We've been in captivity under every other nation, but yet we don't, and it's really our fault because we don't keep the oath that we had with the Most High. We don't keep our side of the covenant. We don't keep the laws. We don't remember the statutes. We forget about the judgment that the Most High can pour on us, right? We don't see the love that the Most High has for us. Out of all these families, only you have I known, as the scripture says.
That's right.
Right? Only you have I known. Therefore, I shall set you above all nations, man.
That's right.
The Most High wants you to be above everybody else, man. Like, I don't see what, I don't see what these fake Israelite groups, are over here, talking about. You guys ain't, you guys don't have the truth, this and that. All you guys do is preach is hate and this and that. What about the white man? This and that, right? But what we're doing is really we're trying to build back what the Most High, we're trying to build back what was lost, right? We're trying to bring back that which was lost, and because of false prophets and it's like a wicked leadership, they lead our people astray.
Right.
We became, as prey to all the beasts of the field.
That's
now
right.
they get to devour us because we forgot the law. We
Right.
forgot about our one power. We forgot to get together in one body, in this one body. We want to make a whole, you call it God, I call it Yahweh, I call it Yahweh or Yahuwah or this and that, Jehovah, right?
Oh man,
look, you are destroyed.
Right.
The Most High said, the world is foolishness. The wisdom of this world is foolishness unto God, man, because you don't understand this book. You don't understand the wisdom that comes out of this book.
Right.
Guess what? The men in the ISUPK do.
Right.
And that's what we do. We do from Tuesday, from Monday with Commander Jerry Hunter's, Black Watch and General Hyman's, scripture breakdown, right? From then, or even some brothers too, they do history class on Mondays too, right? From Monday to Sunday, right? So look, understand this: if you really want to get some real knowledge, some real, what is it called? Practical knowledge.
That's right.
Right? That you can use in your everyday, man. Then come into the ISUPK.
That's right.
It's like, go ahead.
No, damn right.
Or, you go ahead. It's like,
oh, no sweat. Did you need to get more on that?
Nah, that's
okay.
It. That's it.
Let's get real quick because we're gonna do the next 7 verses as well, but we're gonna do them quickly, right? So read the 7th verse of Nahum, first chapter.
It's the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7. The Lord is good.
The Lord is good. God is good all the time.
You said I had
oh man, I had to like it. But listen, the Lord is good, but not in that Christian way. Not in the Christian way. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Listen, that's not.
Oh, man.
Listen, man. Sometimes the Lord can be evil, or He can create evil. He can send an evil. Listen, the Lord sent a death angel, an evil angel, to destroy all the firstborn of Egypt. He did that. Right. We just saw that the Most High, listen, the Most High is going to pour out His fury like a fire. So when it says the Lord is good, good to who? Good to Israel, man. Good to His people. Keep on.
A stronghold in the day of trouble.
And in the day of trouble, you can trust in Him. You can use Him as a shield. Like the scripture says that the Lord is a shield and a buckler. Right? Keep going.
And He knoweth them that trust in Him.
And He only knows them that trust Him. Just like you brought out Amos, the 3rd chapter. I was going to pull a precept, but just for time's sake, right? But, you know what I'm saying? You only have I known. The Lord only knows the children of Israel, right? And when you trust in the Most High, that's when the Most High, when you trust in the Most High, that's how you know the Most High is going to know you, right? All right, so look, I'm gonna read in the Hebrew. You follow along just for time's sake. I'm gonna read the next 7 verses. So what is that? 8 through 14.
Come on, one come.
All right. So we'll be reading verse 8 in Nahum, the 1st chapter. Wabashatap, Ibar, Kala, Yaisha, Makwam, Slaki, Makwama, Ayabaya, Ya Slaki, Yaradap, Kashak, verse 9, Maha, Thakashab, Slaki, Thakashaba 1, Al, Yahweh, Kala, Hawa, Aisha, La'a, Thakuwam, Pa'imium, Tazarah, verse 10, Kaya, Aid, Sayaryum, Sabakyum, Wakasab, Wakasab Ama, Sabawa, Ayam, Akawa, Kakwash, Yabash, Mala'a, verse 11, Mamka, Yataza'a, Kashab, Yahweh, Ra'ai, Ya'itaza, Balaya Isle, verse 12, Kaha, Amar, Yahweh, Shalumium, Wakan, Rabyum, Wakan, Nagawazwa, Wa'aibar, Wa'ainathka, La'a, Ainak, Ainka, Iwad, verse 13, Wa'aitha, Ashabar, Mata'awa, Ma'al Yaka, Wamawasar, Fayak, Anathak, verse 14, Watazawa, Al Yaka, Yahweh, La'a, Yazarai, Mashamka, Iwad, Mabayath, Alahayaka, Akaryath, Pasal, Wamasaka, Ashayam, Kwabarka, Kaya, Kwalawath. All right, so that's up to verse 14. Ain't it the 15th verse in that chapter? I think it's the 15th. Is it
that's the 15 verses, the last chapter.
The 15th verse is the last verse. Okay, well, okay. Time. Okay, let me see. How do you get to the next one again? I don't know. It's not 15 in there either, huh? Yeah. The Tanakh be kind of weird sometimes with that. No sweat. That's 7 verses anyway, so we'll read the 7 verses. Now you can read it in English. We're gonna try to you ain't gotta rush with the reading, but we're gonna try to get through this. I just wanted to get as much of this as possible. So me, listen, I'm doing it right now. me and this brother, listen, you put us up at the podium, man, listen, and we'll just talk. That's what we'll do. We'll talk all day. Me and this brother right here can hold down a 3-hour camp by ourselves. All right, let's get it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 8. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof.
Now, we just read that the Lord is good all the time, right? Listen, we just read that the Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. And he knoweth them that trust in him, talking about the Israelites. But now we're talking about the Assyrians. We're talking about the Americans. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof. Keep going.
And darkness shall pursue his enemies.
And darkness shall pursue his enemies. Meaning something that you cannot escape. You cannot escape that darkness that the Most High is going to send upon you. Keep going.
Verse 9. What do ye imagine against the Lord?
So what are you trying to do? What's your plan? Right? Like we read in the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. They have taken crafty counsel against us. Right? And consulted against thy hidden ones. Talking about the children of Israel. What do you imagine against the Lord? What do you think it is that you can do to beat the Lord at his own game? Keep going.
He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time.
Listen, the Lord gonna shut it down. You don't get but one time. You get one shot. Listen, you get where there is no three strikes with the Most High. You get your first strike, that's it. You will never get a second chance to harm his people. America's never going to get a second chance to harm us. They've been harming us for too long. They'll never get this chance again. And you know why? Because the Lord said in the book of Obadiah, the 10th chapter, the 10th verse, that he's going to destroy them. He's going to make them utterly destroyed. He's going to take them off of the face of this earth. He's going to cut them off forever. You don't get a second chance when you're dealing with the Most High. Keep going. If you get a second chance if you're Israel, just to make that clear. You get what I'm saying? That's why we have this grace period that we have right now, because I grew up a wicked nigga. We all grew up wicked niggas in here. Some of our sisters grew up wicked as hell. Right. We have a second chance when we come in here. But Esau, they don't get a second chance. Just like we just saw the scriptures say, affliction shall not rise up the second time. Keep going.
Verse 10. For while they be folded together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry.
Remember this, right? Remember that the scriptures say this. The scriptures say that there will be people that are being married and that are marrying and being given in marriage. They're going to be drinking, right? They're going to be happy. But then that's when that time comes. You get what I'm saying? And you see the same thing here. That scripture that I just quoted, that's talking about the end times when Christ is going to return. This is saying the same thing, but this is something that has already happened in times past. They shall be devoured as stubble, fully dry. What is stubble? Stubble is like dry grass. It's like if you look on the mountains, right? We out here in Arizona, so we got a lot of stubble, right? If you go out to Jerusalem, you go out to the Middle East, you'll see a lot of stubble. It's that brown, dead grass looking stuff, right? That's what stubble is. And so it's going to be devoured as stubble, fully dry. What does fully dry mean? It means it can easily catch on fire. So it's going to be devoured just like that. Keep going.
Verse 11. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor.
Keep going.
Verse 12. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down when he shall pass through.
Now this is the kicker. Keep going.
Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more.
Listen, the Lord allowed us to be in the Assyrian captivity. And so we had been afflicted in that Assyrian captivity for hundreds of years. You get what I'm saying? I believe it went over the span about 200 years, right? And we were in that captivity, and the Lord was causing that affliction. He was allowing us to be afflicted. And so he said, though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. Meaning he's going to pull us out of that captivity. That's what he did, right? Keep going.
Verse 13, for now I will break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder.
And I will burst thy bonds in sunder. Bonds are something that keeps you bound up. You know what I'm saying? It can be chains around your arms, or it can be a rope tied around your arms, something that keeps you bound, right? And he said he's going to burst them, meaning he's going to destroy those bonds, right? He's going to destroy those bonds in sunder. Keep going.
Verse 14. And the Lord has given a commandment concerning thee.
Now this is heavy too. Keep going.
That no more of thy name be sown out of the house of thy gods. Will I cut off the graven image and the molten image? I will make thy grave, for thou art vile.
Thou art vile, man. Listen, the Lord is going to fix us. That's what we need. We need a good fixing. We need to be fixed. And I think the sooner that you realize, because we realize that when you come into the ISUPK, you realize, goddamn, I need to be fixed. I'm broken. I'm wrong. And these brothers is right. You get what I'm saying? And some brother, when we come in here, listen, man, when we come in here, we still got work to do. Listen, it's hard to be perfect, but it's in order. You got to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, sometimes I'm gonna put it to you like this. We got to remember that the Lord looks at us a lot different than he does these other nations. Like, it's hard to grasp that, because the Christian church teaches you that all people are equal. You get what I'm saying? So you equal to that filthy white man that raped your grandfather. Say grandfather, not grandmother, that too. But like, they raped our forefathers. You get what I'm saying? In front of their children, in front of their women.
Not only that, but they had the audacity to put their faces on mountains.
They put their faces on mountains that belonged to the North American Indians, that belonged to the so-called Hispanics. Like, that's what they exalt themselves. That's why Isaiah the 14th chapter is so heavy, because it talks about the fact that they exalt themselves. They want to be like the Most High, but they don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? They don't deserve that. As wicked as they are, man, I'll put it to you like this: because they're so wicked, they've caused the Most High to hate them even more than he would normally hate them, because he hates them anyway. You read it, Second Ezra, or it's like you ain't even got to go into the Apocrypha. You can read the New Testament, Romans 9 and 13. You get what I'm saying? That the Most High hates Esau. You can read, and you can read listen, you can read everywhere, all over the Bible. The Most High hates the other nations. He despises them because of what they've done to us. The white man would have just been on the same level as the Arabs if they had not been so vile to us. You get what I'm saying? What kind of vile creature does that? Rapes a man in front of his face. And it's not just, it's enough to rape a man. That's disgusting. It's terrible, right? But on top of that, you do it and you make his wife watch. You make his daughters watch. All right? You make his sons watch. You know what that would, man? Everybody. You get what I'm saying? So not only does that ruin your image, right? It makes not your image, but it that too, right? But it ruins yourself, the way you feel about yourself. You can't walk around with your head high and everybody just saw you get raped. You can't. You're not going to be able to do that, right? Same thing for the son, though. The son that watches that, the daughter that watches that. That's a traumatizing thing. That's how they destroyed us as a people. They destroyed us as a people by doing things like that, with scare tactics and not allowing us to be confident. You get what I'm saying? They see a nigga walking around with his head up high. Oh no, that's the one I got a buck break. Now this is the point. They still doing it today. Today they're still buck break. They buck broke Nick Cannon. That's what they did. They publicly shamed him, made him feel stupid, and then he had to apologize. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's the same principle. They're doing the same thing that they've always done. So the point is, because they've been so vile to us, they're the one nation that don't get no mercy. They don't get no mercy. That's the one nation that the Most High said he's going to cut off forever. The Most High don't want them walking the face of this planet, man. And not only the Most High, the animals don't. Right. The sea doesn't want them. The sea doesn't want the white man on here, man. The ozone layer doesn't want the white man on this planet, man. The buffalo. You get what I'm saying? Not to mention every race. The white man doesn't want the white man oppresses his own people. You get what I'm saying? When I say oppressed, I'm talking about in a general sense, right? No white man is oppressed. You get what I'm saying? But that's the point, right? Listen, I'll sit here and I'll talk, and it'll be 3:00, and I'll get a call from Captain Osh and get cussed out, right? So, point being though is that the Most High he's not going to give a pardon to our enemies. He's not. He's not going to give a pardon to anybody, but he will do that for us because he chose us above all other nations. You want to say something? No. All right, with that, we're going to close out the service. So just men up here at Majum, and get that horn to blow.
La Yasserala.
Which means to Israel. All right. Imagine what Panyah, we're done, which means to stand and face the east. Start with the prayers.
Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6 and 8 through 13. Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemaya, Kadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baharatza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathandanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Kabawathinawa, Wasalachnawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa,
Banasaya 1,
Abal, Awashaynawa, Hayyan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Watha La'awalamyam, Aman.
Is the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever.
So be it.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Babakusha, Nathanawa, Haka,
Larapa'ah,
Call, Maka'ala, Wakal, Madawa, Haka, Latahar, Hamatazarium, Haka, Lahakwayam, Hamatyam, Haka, Al, Rakwat, Hamata'ala, Lagarsha, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the water Aman.
We're going to read the power in English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms 121. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al, Haharya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Asha, Shamayam, Waharatza, Al, Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al, Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamat, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Bala Yahweh, it's like Yashamar, it's like Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Ath, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Waba, Wa'aka, Ma'aitha, it's like Wa'ai, I will.
All right. We're going to read Psalms, the 121st chapter in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh will preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83rd. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al.
Damaya. Laka.
Al.
Takarash.
Wa'al.
Tashakwat.
Al.
Kaya. Hana. Awa. Yagika. Hama. Yahama. Yawan. Ra'ash. Al. Amaka. Yaira. Yamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Yaitazawa. Al. Tazapa. Wanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanaka. Kakidam. Magalia. Wala'a. Yazakar. Shem Yashar'ala. Awada. Kaya. Nawa. Aitazawa. Laba. Yakadwa.
Al
Yaka. Baryath. Yaka. Rathwa. Ahalia. Adawam. Wa. Yashamai. Alayam. Mawa'aba. Wahagaria. Gabal. Wa'aimawan. Wa'aimalak. Palashath. I'm. Yeshabya. Tazawar. Gum. Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labanya. Lawat. Salah. Ashab. Nahum. Kamadya. Kasaya. Sara'a. Kayabya. Banakal. Kayashwan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan. Da'ara. Hayawa. Daman. La'a. Dama. Shaya. Tamwa. Nadab. Yamawa. Ka'ira. Waka. Za'aba. Waka. Zabak. Waka.
Tazal.
Mana'ai. Kal. Nasa. Yakamwa. Ashar. Amarwa. Naya. Rash'a. Lanawa. Ath. Na'awat.
Alahayam.
Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Kagagala. Gakwash. Lapanya. Raka. Ka'ash.
The Ba'ira.
Yaira.
Wakal.
Waka.
Lahaba.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Khan.
Tharadapma.
Basa'iraka.
Wabasa.
Wapathka. Tabahalam. Mala'a. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Waya. Bakwashwa. Shamka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Waya. Bahawa. Aya. Ai. Waya. Kaparwa. Waya. Abadwa. Waya. Da'aiwa. Kaya. Atha. Shamka. Yahawa. Labadka. Al-Yawan. Al. Kal.
Ha'aratiza.
All right. Read Psalms 83rd chapter into English. All right. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For it looks like it. For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasha Allah may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Yasha Allah may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab. And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal. Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur
also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At
the brook of Kissar. Which perished that endured. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red. And like Ze'eb. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. And as Zalmunna. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, are the most high over all the earth.
Blessings. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Allahayim. Matazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyam. Hasaranyam. Hakwatazayam. Hakayayalyam. Wahagwatyam. Yahweh. Bashem Yahushai. The water Aman.
These are the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. The general. The captain. The officer. The trooper. And the sister. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. All right, we're gonna close out. Any brother want to handle on with oil?
Khan.
All right, you can go ahead and step down now. Come around this way. Right. Anybody that doesn't know, when your head is anointed with oil, it's just a blessing. It's a blessing from the Most High. And we're going to say these prayers, if I can find them. Just allow me 1 second. Just a second. All right, so just the brothers up here. So I'm going to say it. This brother will repeat me, right? And then, of course, when we point to you, you say your name and we say it back 3 times, all right? Ya Baraka Yahweh. Waya Shamarka. Ya Ar Yahweh. Pan Yahweh. Al Yaka. Waya Kanka. Yasha Yahweh. Pan Yahweh. Al Yaka. Waya Shamlaka. Shalom. Yahweh. Basham. Yahushai. Barak. Rapah. Magun. Hagun.
Kabbalah.
Kabadama.
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 Kabadama. Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
The water Aman. What we said in English is Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh in the name of Yahushai, bless, heal, shield, protect. Kabadama. All right. With that, let's give each other a we're gonna give a courtesy salute. All right. Salute out the service. Men of Israel, Majul Shabbat. Amayim. Barak.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, brother thumb.
Yadi Matah. Service is dismissed.